Hello, minions! It's me again, the man on the internet, here with some advice on romance. It's the easiest thing to exploit if you want to find the weaknesses of your enemies, crush them before you, and, well, I guess hear the lamentation of their women. They might not have women, it might be someone of a different gender. I don't judge, romance is romance. My extensive studies, however, have determined that romance is usually a mutual relationship between two people. Otherwise, it gets very creepy. Unfortunately, because this is the internet and nice things are forbidden by law, there are a lot of very creepy people who insist on romance, even when it's very clear that's not going to happen. For a multitude of factors. This is a story about one of those creeper romances. A story about a DMPC who's on a quest for love, with the subject of his affection being a dude who is 100% not into that. This is DM Forces Romance between DMPC and my character, by PitifulAd773. This is my first D&D 5e game with strangers. For years, I've been playing with close friends, but schedules and busy lives sadly stopped our weekly games. The DM of that game mentions to me that they know another DM who is looking for players. I say I'm interested, he hooks us up, and I join the game. DM of this game is female. I'm a straight male, and so is my cleric character. The only other player is a min-maxer straight female, playing a female Hexblade Paladin with Polearm Sentinel. The genders will be important later. So the DM told us that since the party is so small, she'll be adding an NPC who will help us out here and there. That NPC turned out to be a male DMPC rogue who is always 2 levels above us, plus magic items. They don't just help here and there, no. They straight up take the spotlight, often being the one dealing the final blow against bosses. But more on that later. I need to mention that nearly all the NPCs are male, some of which have romantic relationships with each other. Literally, the only female NPCs are the villains. Usually the seductresses or femme fatale types. So we got around 2 sessions in, and immediately, I don't like the DMPC. The DM always inserts the DMPC in every scene with my character. I noticed that it's difficult for my cleric to bond with the min-maxer, because every time I try to RP with the min-maxer, the DMPC butts in. The first instance where it becomes a big problem is when we were fighting one of the main villainesses. She was hiding behind hostages, but we end up pummeling her and kicking her ass pretty good, mostly thanks to the min-maxer's absurd crits. We told the DMPC to go help the hostages instead, while we handle the villainess. The DMPC argues against it. Sometimes it feels like the DM herself is arguing against us, telling us that it's a bad idea. After a bit of back and forth, we finally got the DMPC to leave combat and help the hostages. Finally, a combat where someone else deals the final blow. Oh wait, never mind, I'm down. Yep, the moment the DMPC leaves, the villainess one-shots me. The DM excitedly says, "Bet someone's wishing DMPC was here right now." That ticked me off a bit, but whatevs, min-maxer will fix this. The min-maxer goes and uses up her smites, deals an absurd amount of damage, and the villainess somehow survives and paralyzes the min-maxer. No saves, just one hit, then bam, paralyzed. With both PCs out of commission, the DM describes how the villainess was about to finish me off as she's about to step on my head. Then, a bit of silence as she played some heroic music, and proceeds to describe how the DMPC just came right on time to rescue me, and how he was so angry and furious that he let me go down in his watch, blah blah blah. The villainess got scared shitless and tried to seduce him, but he says there's only one person he loves, blah blah blah. Yeah, DMPC one-shots the villainess. When both me and the min-max are recovered, the DMPC proceeds to scold us about how we are too weak and how we are reckless. The DM was also very obviously trying to hint that he is being harsh because he cares. Yeah, no, I don't care. I was planning to leave, but I didn't, and that's because of min-maxer. After the DMPC leaves the scene for the first time, DM expected me to go after them and console them. My character and Min-Maxer finally get to roleplay together meaningfully. We bonded over our near-death experience, and her character was a lot of fun and very sweet. The DM inserted a scene where she describes how the savior of the day ends up alone and ends the session. I spoke to the DM about it, and how I feel as though this rogue of hers is like a DMPC. She said, "Don't worry, the rogue will only be around for one arc." I worry, but whatever. The roleplay with Min-Maxer was enough for me to give this another session. I at least have something to look forward to. Come next session, the DMPC is now flirting with my character. No build up to it, just randomly decides to be flirty. He also was kinda mean to Min-Maxer. Every time she speaks, he acts like she's being dumb. And the DM just makes things happen narratively to prove that she was indeed being dumb. We got into a fight with the villainess, a character from my backstory who wasn't supposed to be evil. It was my aunt, who was also my mentor. Naturally, my character would want to speak with them and try to understand what's going on, and won't throw hands right away. The DMPC, on the other hand, wants to kill her. He had this whole speech about love and choosing who you love, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with why I want to talk to my aunt. Half of it was the DM herself explaining things, and giving me meta-knowledge to prove that my aunt is now pure evil that puts Satan to shame. Aunt then nearly one-shots me, and that comes with a stun that has a ridiculous save DC for our level, and DMPC was going to slay her. Min-Maxer tries to intervene, as she wants to non-lethally take down my aunt for my sake, but the DM wasn't having any of it. Even when my aunt was downed, DMPC executes her. This, of course, enraged my character. The DMPC says that I am ungrateful and that he saved my life. The DM also says that out of character. The DMPC stormed off, once again, expecting me to go after them, but I don't. Once again, Min-Maxer got space to roleplay with me. She consoled my character, and it led to a very bittersweet, wholesome moment. We both even saw potential development toward romance in the future, and she jokingly says, "I ship it." At that moment, the DM just straight up tells me that my character feels an overwhelming guilt in his heart. I told her that's not how my character feels right now. So she gets the DMPC to come to me instead, and that he looks so heartbroken and hurt by me. Fuck like I care. But apparently, my character does care, as the DM describes how my character feels tight in his chest seeing the DMPC like this. I cut her off and say, "Stop controlling my character, this is messed up." Poor choice of words on my part, because now she's accusing me of being homophobic, and told me I should be more open to guy-on-guy relationships. Specifically, guy-on-guy. She doesn't even say gay relationships. At this point, I'm done. The line between me and my character starts to blur, and I did some immature things. I angrily ask the DMPC what they want. The DMPC tries to tell me to snap out of it. I'm like, what? The DMPC proceeds to accuse my character of being seduced by the villainess, who was my aunt. Both in and out of character, I just want to attack the DMPC for saying such shit. So I told the DM I cast Guiding Bolt on the DMPC. The DM straight up tells me I need to roll a whiz save to be able to attack someone I love? What the fuck? You know what? I'm not even gonna argue. I'll roll that save and continue my attack. Being a cleric, I have good wisdom, so I saved. I hit the DMPC, who is then described to unleash a frightening aura and approaches my character. But he gets stopped dead in his tracks by the Min-Maxer's Polearm Master Sentinel combo. It was glorious how Min-Maxer interrupts the DM, describing the DMPC be all edgy. The DM tries to argue that it's out of character for Min-Maxer, and that this would break her oath because my character's the one who attacked first. Min-Maxer argues well enough that it is in their character and won't break their oath. So the attack happens, but it misses, as the DM randomly gave the DMPC the ability to parry as a reaction, which they never had before. I point out that the Min-Maxer gets to attack with advantage due to my Guiding Bolt. So Min-Maxer rolls again, and rolls higher than the DMPC's AC plus parry. So yeah, he gets stopped. But no! The DM says that they can't do that yet and must roll initiative first. We try to argue that it was a reaction, but the DM won't budge. Fine. Being a rogue, DMPC had the highest dex, so he rolls the highest. He proceeds to approach my character. The min-maxer tries to use their reaction, but the DM says they can't, because initiative started with the DMPC already in min-maxer's reach and thus did not enter her reach. Bullshit. So yeah, the DMPC gave their speech about love and betrayal and downs me, which allows min-maxer to use their sentinel reaction as the DM main attack. It misses. But she points out that Guiding Bolt is still active, which even I forgot. So she rolls again. Crit. DMPC barely survives with uncanny dodge. Min-maxer's turn now, and she proceeds to one-turn the DMPC. Even with his 2 levels of advantage and magic items. He goes down, and min-maxer goes for the kill. DM can't even lie about his HP, because we know how much HP he has, as DM always says, "It's funny how the rogue has this much more HP than the paladin." Well, duh, they're 2 levels higher. So yes, DMPC is just dead. DM leaves mid-call without saying a word. Last I heard, DM talked to my previous DM, trying to paint me and min-maxer as the misogynist assholes. Well, there's always 2 sides to the story, I suppose. Okay, my mind control projects are hip and cool, and made to ensure my global domination. This mind control project is apparently toss out everything in the backstory of this character. He happens to be a man, and therefore I can hook him up with this man, and it'll be so hot and kawaii. Oh, you might think you know your own backstory, but no, I do. It turns out you love your aunt who was double Satan Hitler. But you should love me, this weird, creepy asshole who makes fun of you and calls you weak all the time, because that makes sense. And with that, I think we should address the elephant in the room. Fetishizing a sexuality is not okay. It's clear that this DM has some issues, being apparently a self-hating misogynist unless someone is mean to her, but not only loving the idea of guy on guy, but trying to force guy on guy even when that might not be someone's relationship. That's not okay. I may be a supervillain out to conquer all reality, but I don't care what someone's gender and sexuality are. It's not my business. And if someone's sexuality happens to not be what I prefer, assuming I was hit on the head by a coconut and suddenly have a preference for sexuality, I'm not going to try and force them to change their sexuality, because that's fucked up. If this woman is so desperate for her yaoi, there are infinitely better avenues to pursue than hosting a 3-person Dungeons & Dragons game and trying to force a straight guy with a straight character to actually be gay for your self-insert. So my advice is, first, go to therapy, you clearly need it. Second, write a damn book, because you're clearly not interested in listening to other people when they want to tell a story. And just to make it perfectly clear, I may be evil, but I love all of you equally. You're all such valuable servants. And I wish you a happy Pride Month. What do you mean it's the last day of Pride Month? I'm very timely. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, even if I missed most of Pride Month, there's still July, and you know what that means. Gay Wrath Month. I look forward to seeing the wrath you'll all unleash, my minions. Toodles!